This photo here highlights everything that's good and everything that's bad in this Juventus team. I promise you, I made a video 2 to 3 days ago. Igor Tudor, Juventus, the high press. Where is it working and where is it not working? And when this happened, once again, for probably the third time in a row, I was like, here we go. Strike 3. At Juventus 1, Atalanta 1 in the Serie A. Now, this is the third game in a row that Juventus dropped points. It's the third game in a row that Juventus draw. And it's also the third game in a row where we see a different striker in attack. Borussia Dortmund, Jonathan David. Verona, Vlahovic, and then today, Openda. That already tells me one thing and one thing only. Tudor still doesn't know who his best striker is. And it's fine. Don't get me wrong. It's still early in the season. It's fine. But he needs to make up his mind real soon. Because it's having a negative impact on the players in and around the team. Because you have to bear in mind, if you're somebody like Kenan, when you play with David, David plays the game in a very different way to Openda. Openda plays the game in a very different way to Vlahovic. Vlahovic plays the game in a very different way to David. Kenan is a talented player. He can adapt his game. But surely for Kenan to grow and for that striker to grow in that position, you need consistency. You need to play that same striker game after game after game. And I feel like at the moment, Tudor doesn't know who his main 9 is. Like you could see, he's chopping and changing. One day Openda and David. One day Openda and Vlahovic. One day Vlahovic only. In his press conferences, he always comes out and says, listen, we're chopping and changing formations. We're trialing out different things. I feel like at the moment, like this is just me being completely honest with you guys. I feel like at the moment, Tudor doesn't know what his best formation is with these crop of players and who his best players are, especially in attack. Like, that's from what I've seen. I don't think he knows his best starting 11. He might know his best defensive backline. He might know his best midfield partnership. I don't think he knows his best attack yet. In my opinion, besides Kenan Yildiz. Zhegrova, for me, I feel like he had an amazing game. Like, just to speak on his game real briefly, came on for like, what, 30 minutes? Didn't really score a goal. 2 progressive passes. 7 out of 10 dribbles. That is ridiculously impressive. He won himself about 8 duels. Like, Zhegrova is small, but wow, does he get stuck in. Wow, does he win his duels. Like, he is a menace on and off the ball. He created 2 opportunities. Like, Zhegrova, I watched it today, and I was like, this is a statement performance. This is you knocking on the door and saying, I'm ready to start midweek. I am ready to start midweek. Because do you know how Zhegrova being on the pitch, who it helped the most? It helped Kenan Yildiz. Because Kenan didn't have the best of performances today. But so many times before Zhegrova was on the pitch, the ball would go to Kenan. Everybody's looking at him and thinking, can you save us? Can you put in that clinical cross? Can you cut inside and shoot and score like you did against Inter, like you did against Borussia Dortmund? Kenan today, you could see, I don't know what it is. Maybe he's tired, maybe he's fatigued. Maybe he just had an off day. But when Zhegrova came onto the pitch, you saw the ball always went to the right-hand side. It kept going to Zhegrova. And to be fair, I feel like he had a good game. Like, you have to bear in mind, this dude hasn't played in 10 months. Now, touching on the game, the photo that I showed you guys at the beginning. My last Juve video, I highlighted to you guys what's good about Tudor's press and how sometimes it can become bad and it can hold back the team. Every single team in the every single team in the world that wants to deploy a high press, and I mean from the first minute, push the entire teams forward, you have to kill the opposition. You have to kill them by half time, by the 60th, maximum by the 70th minute. Because after the 70th minute, you will get tired. Fatigue will kick in. The players won't be able to press to high intensity. When Vlahovic came on, Vlahovic got fresh legs. He's full of energy. Vlahovic is pressing at high intensity. Look at his teammates. Look at, like, what is it, 5-10 yards gap between every single one of them. Vlahovic went and pressed. The ball went, I believe, to the right-hand side. He looks, where are you guys? Like, go back and rewatch the game and just watch this little moment. He looks to his left, he looks to his right, and he's like, where are you guys? Like, why am I pressing all alone? Yeah, you're pressing all alone because these guys have been pressing from the first minute and they're tired now. With high press, you have to kill games off. Juve's problem this season has been they press ridiculously. They tire themselves out. From the first minute, they push the entire team into the opposition half. They suffocate them. They don't get anything out of it. They don't get a goal. They don't get 2 goals. They don't capitalize on the errors. What happens? You reach the 60th minute. Everyone's tired, but you're playing catch up. Because the 60th minute, you might be 1-0 down. The 60th minute, you might be 3-2 down. The 60th minute, it might be 0-0. The 60th minute, it's 1-1 and you're trying to win the game. Tudor, I don't look at Tudor and think he's an amazing coach in terms of how he coaches these players in possession. Like, I've seen enough of Tudor, like 20, 25 games. Tudor, for me, is more of a coach that walks in, rallies the troops. You look at his whole ethos, it focuses on what this team does off the ball. You've got some coaches, like across the world, their ethos focuses heavily on what my team can do on the ball and off the ball. So I'm going to coach you guys on and off the ball. Tudor, for me, he falls into the bracket of coaches where I'm about to teach this team what to do off the ball. On the ball, go out and play the game. Go out and win the game. Go out and improvise. Go out and play off your own intuition. Go out and express yourself. The problem is, when Juventus get tired, they stop playing off Tudor's philosophy. Like, Tudor, high energy, high press. Once Juventus stop playing off that, they just start relying on individual brilliance. They start relying on individual brilliance. Like, when you see them in the final third, the way the players position themselves, you don't see them chopping and changing. You don't see, like, elements of positional rotation, positional play. Like, I don't look at Tudor and say a possession-based coach and he's about to improve them in possession. No. I'm going to make you guys fighters off the ball. I'm going to make you guys press relentlessly. But in return, I want this press to force the opposition into errors and then you go and make the right decision and score. I want this press to result into goals, into opportunities. The problem is, it is resulting in that, but Juve just aren't taking those opportunities. And then as the game goes on, they get tired, and that's when they start relying on goals from 30 yards out, individual brilliance. Like, let's be honest, you look at the game today, a cross comes in, an Atalanta player scuffs it, it falls to Cabal, he puts the ball into the back of the net. Juve were fortunate in that sense. And that's why, for me, I'm not just speaking on this game, I'm mainly speaking on what I've seen over like the past 3 games. When Juve get tired, they just start relying on crosses into the box, and I don't think Juve have many great crosses. Like, if you look at the numbers today when it comes to Juve's crossing, wow. Like, wow. Every cross couldn't beat the first man. Whether it was from out wide, whether it was from a corner, Juve just need to start killing games. Like, that's what I wanted to highlight to you guys. Juve need to start killing games if they want to press high. If not, you're always going to be playing catch-up. But the problem is you're playing catch-up whilst you're tired. And at the moment, I feel like Juve have been fortunate where they've been tired. They can't press high, but they get fortunate on the transition. Vlahovic cross into Kelly. Cabal capitalizing on a mistake. A shot from outside the box. Guys, the season is long. Like, you have to ask yourself one question. Listen, you have to ask yourself one question. It's game week 5 of the Serie A, and you're beginning to see fatigue in these players. Why? You don't see it in other teams. Like, let's be honest. Go and look at the majority of teams in the Serie A. They're not fatiguing. They're not getting tired. By the 60th minute, they're still full of energy. Why are you seeing it at Juventus? And it's because Juve, I feel like it's Juve, Como, and Roma. They are the 3, and Inter. Those are the 4 teams that press the highest in the Serie A. Go watch every single one of them, and you'll realize by the 60th, 70th minute, they're tired. The difference is Inter would be 2-0 up. Roma would be 1-0 up, smooth sailing, in control. Como will be 1-2-0 up. That's where the problem is. That's where the problem is at the moment. And I'll be honest with you guys, why are Juve not capitalizing like on these errors? It's because Tudor doesn't know his best starting 11. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Tudor doesn't know his best starting 11. Is it Openda? Is it David? Is it Vlahovic? Is it Conceição? Is it Zhegrova? Is it, I don't know, is it Locatelli and Koppmeiners in midfield? Or is it Locatelli and Thuram? Don't get me wrong, it's still early in the season. Juventus have signed a lot of new players in attack, and I feel like every single one of those players needs time to adapt to the league, to the Serie A, to Tudor, to his teammates, to grow, to understand the intensity, the tactical demands of the league. But I still look at it and say, Tudor, this is now your job. You need to find your best starting 11. The sooner, the better. Trust me. In order for your team to grow, in order for your team to start representing you on the pitch, these players need to get familiar with one another. They need to build that chemistry with one another. How do they build chemistry? Trust me, they can train 10 days a week, 7 days a week. They can train 7 days a week. They won't build chemistry on the training field. You build chemistry with your teammates on the football field against the opposition. It's very different. It's very difficult for somebody like Kenan. 1 week I'm playing with Vlahovic. Vlahovic is very different to Openda. Openda is very different to David, and David is very different to Vlahovic. I need to play with the same striker week in, week out. I need to play with the same wing back. I need to play with the same midfield partnership. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying play the same starting 11 every single game of the season. Of course, suspensions, injuries, a drop in form, a rise in form. But I'm looking at Juve this season and I'm thinking, every game, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I don't know who Tudor is about to play. I genuinely don't know who Tudor is about to play. Every single one of them brings something different. As much as that can benefit the team, it can also hold back the team because now you're asking everybody on the pitch to adapt a little bit. David, he wants it short. He wants it to feet. Openda wants it in behind. Vlahovic, maybe both of them. Vlahovic wants crosses into the box. Openda doesn't. David doesn't. David wants to give and go. Vlahovic doesn't. Openda doesn't. Openda likes to drift out wide. Vlahovic doesn't. Like, do you see what I mean? Tudor needs to find his best starting 11. And I feel like that's the only time when you're going to see this Juve team actually kick on. Like, find 8, 9, 10 players that you start every single week. They are your main guys. The other positions, let players compete for it. I'm looking at Juve now and I'm thinking, a game against Villarreal midweek in the Champions League, must win. I don't even know the starting 11. I'm being honest with you, I don't even know what the starting 11 is. Because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, what are you going to do? And you could see the fact that Tudor, in his press conferences, he comes out and he says, we're trying out different formations. We're trying to play with 2 strikers, but we might also play with 1 striker. We might go to a back 4. We might go to a midfield 3. Tudor, at the moment, he doesn't know the best formation for this team and he doesn't know the best starting 11. It's still early, but I feel like the longer this goes on, the more it will hold him back. Let's see what the Champions League has to show. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.